National Championship rematch. We got Michigan versus Washington today, Saturday, October 5th. Let's dive into it. We're going to do player props. We're going to analyze the game a little bit, and I got an absolute banger of a bet for you guys on the sports books here at the end of this video. Let's dive right in, guys. It's, like I said, Saturday, October 5th, 5:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That's start time for this game. It's going to be in Washington at their Alaskan Airlines field at Husky Stadium. Long verbiage in that name of that stadium. Going to be on CBS, guys. Right now, Washington is favored -1.5. It's Michigan +1.5 as of right now. But let's dive into the player props a little bit before we talk too much spread analysis and all that stuff. You guys saw how this game went last year. Michigan dominated. Cannot go by that. We cannot go by that because both of these two teams have completely changed. Absolutely flipped completely from what they were last year. Washington, you guys know they lost that entire offensive line. They lost Johnson. They lost Polk. They lost Adunze, and they lost McMillan at receiver. And then they lost the best passer in the NFL draft this year, Michael Penix Jr. So we cannot take last year as our baseline for what's going to happen this year. I do think both teams will be hungry. There still are some players that returned from last year, so they remember what happened. They remember that this was a big game last year in the national championship. Jeremiah Hunter is the first player we're going to take a prop on, a wide receiver for Washington. He actually has filled in somewhat decent for the big three that came out of Washington last year. He's not Adunze, Polk, or McMillan yet, but he is a good receiver. His line right now his prop right now for receptions is set at 2.5. 2.5 catches. All right. Looking at his chart right here, I'm looking at Outlier and looking at a graph of his last 17 games. 14 of his last 17 games, he's had at least 3 catches. Yes, that dates back to when he was at Cal, because obviously he wasn't in this receiving core last year. But even his time at Cal, leading up to this week in his 5 games so far at Washington, 14 of those last 17 games had at least 3 catches. 3 of the 5 this year. Will Rogers is starting to like this kid, starting to feed him. He had 6 catches last week against Rutgers. He's become Rogers' #1 target. He had 3 catches the week before that. Week 2, he had 5 catches against Eastern Michigan. So Will Rogers is starting to look his way, starting to throw him the ball. All he needs is 3 catches, and like I said, 14 of the last 17 games. That's 82% if you guys didn't want to do that math. 82% of the time in his last NFL season, 17 games, if you guys get where I'm going there. 17 games, 82% of the time he's over 2.5 receptions. Lock that one in. I think that's an easy win for us today. Then this one's slightly an unpopular pick because if you just looked at who the player is and what the prop is set at, the line is set at, you would think hit the over. When you actually dive into the numbers a little bit and analyze this season, how it's gone so far, we're taking the under. This is Alex Orji on his rushing yards. Right now it's set at 32.5 rushing yards. I know he didn't play last year as a starter. It was J.J. McCarthy, but he didn't go over it last year. That, like I said, we're not taking last year into account. I just wanted to mention that for note. This year so far, in 4 games, he's gone under it in 3. And the one that he did go over it, he had 43 rush yards against USC. Orji's not taking off and running the ball. He ain't no Denard Robinson out there. This is not Michigan of 2013 or 2012, whatever year that was with Denard. So Orji is not getting a lot of rushing yards. Right now, he's getting, I believe 17%. Let me double check again. He's getting 17% of the carries for the Michigan Wolverines. And now those aren't all designed. Some of them are takeoff and scramble, but as far as actual carries, rushes, past the line of scrimmage, he's only getting 17% of those looks in Michigan. That's not enough for me to feel confident on a rushing total hitting the over, especially looking at his graph here and him going only over 32.5 one time this whole season and last year. But like I said, McCarthy was there last year. He didn't get a lot of reps. He didn't. I mean, when Michigan was up big, he would get in and get some reps, but McCarthy got all the take last year. So Orji under 32.5 rushing yards. And then this last prop, guys, this is a 3-man slip if I didn't say that. Kyle Mullings for Michigan. We're going to hit him on the over at 101.5 rushing yards. So 3 straight games. 3 straight games, he's had 111 yards or more. Went for 159 against USC. Went for 111 last week against Minnesota. 2 weeks ago, he went for 153 against Arkansas. Mullings has taken over that backfield. He's getting 41% of the touches out of that backfield as opposed to Donovan Edwards, 31%. So Mullings is the guy right now. They're feeding him. He's the hot hand. He's the workhorse right now. Not a full workhorse like you would see in the NFL 20 years ago. You know, the Terrell Davis, Emmitt Smith days. I guess that was 30 years ago now. Man, I remember those days. I'm getting old, guys. Rush yards for Michigan so far this year, 974 rush yards. Washington has given up 866 rush yards, 121.8 yards a game. So Washington's not really stout against the run. Giving up 121 yards a game is not great. They're ranked 51 in the country right now. 51st in the country in stopping the run. Michigan does well running the football, and Callum Mullings has been an absolute dog for them. He's the only reason that they've only lost one game. Mullings is their, I guess you would say, MVP to this point on offense. 160 yards or 159 yards against USC. That is a huge total against a damn good football team. Now he's going against Washington. I expect him to get over this line maybe before the fourth quarter starts. He could do this in 3 quarters. That's my prediction. That's what I think personally looking at this game. Callum Mullings is going to take the rock, and he's going to pound it all freaking night long. Now let's get back into, actually before I do that, guys, let me just recap this play real quick. You got Alex Orji under 32.5 rush yards, Callum Mullings over 101.5 rush yards, and then Jeremiah Hunter over 2.5 receptions. That's a 5X payout. We already hit a 5Xer on Thursday Night Football. Started out the week great. If you guys follow my channel, you know Thursday Night Football was absolutely awesome for us. We killed the books. Then again last night we killed the books. We hit, 3 out of 4 picks. We had Oregon, Michigan State on the under total, that hit. We had UNLV, Syracuse on the over, that hit. And then we also had Houston, TCU on the under, that hit. We did lose one. We had Syracuse minus 5.5. UNLV minus 5.5, lost that one. So 3 out of the 4 picks last night that I gave hit, and that was just on a Friday night. Thursday Night Football was just awesome. Check out my Instagram. There's a link in the description down below. You can see the recap of Thursday night. I'll get right back into this game. That's enough of that, guys. Michigan versus Washington. Okay, like I said, this is going to be an emotional game because this is a rematch of the national championship. Washington's trying to get revenge. Michigan's trying to stay in the top 10. Right now they're ranked 10 with 1 loss. Both teams have fallen off a bit. Washington's 2-2, Michigan's 4-1. Yes, 4-1 is a damn good record. They lost to the number 2 team in the country, Texas. That was a pretty bad loss. Texas came in and rolled them, made it kind of look easy. So I don't think Michigan is going to be an actual contender this year, just based on what I've seen. Alex Orji can't throw the damn football. He really can't run the ball that well either. But Callum Mullings and Donovan Edwards are still good football players. They do have a good offensive line still. So Michigan right now is the dog. Washington's favored by 1.5 points. This is what surprises me, and we're taking a specific bet here that could not be closer to a lock. Okay? You might disagree with me, but the numbers don't lie. Line movement doesn't lie. And if you know line movement and know sports betting, you're going to ride this one with me. We're going to cash. So, Michigan at the opening, minus 104 odds on the money line. Now they're plus 102 odds. Washington, minus 115 odds. Now Washington is minus 123 odds. So with that line movement, think about it for a second. Washington went from minus 115 to minus 123, meaning that it's now more likely for them to win according to these odds than it was before. So you would probably think all that money's going on Washington, right? Well, wrong. 95% of the public money is on Michigan. Now, when you see a play where all the money's on one side, but they're moving the line in favor of the other side, that means that they know something. The books are not stupid. When they move the line against what the line should be moving based on where the money's at, that's a clue. That's a tip to take that other side. So we're going to take Washington money line. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but I'm not as smart as the sports books. Okay, I just find an edge on them, and I watch what they do and bet based on what they do and win. Okay, I'm going against all that money. They know 95% of this money is on Michigan. So what they should do is flip it and favor Michigan instead of Washington if everybody is betting on Michigan. That's what the line would typically do, but they're not. They're doubling down and moving that line even more in favor of Washington, meaning that the sportsbooks think Washington is going to win this game for one reason or another. Maybe it's because they're home. Maybe they like the matchup they're seeing. I don't know where their head's at. I just see where their line is moving, and we're hammering Washington money line. Take it to the bank. Guys, I will see you at the cash out check line, whatever you want to call it. I'll see you with the tellers when we cash out big on this play. Washington money line. That's your pick for tonight, guys. That's your pick on the sports books for tonight. Fade me, doubt me, do whatever you will, but we're going to win this bet. Check out my videos on Instagram, guys. I recap these YouTube videos when we hit big. We took Alabama money line. That one hit. We took Falcons -1.5. People said I was an idiot for that because the Buccaneers were going to go in there and roll them. Falcons covered -1.5. We are winning these picks, guys. We're doing it because we know how to read damn sports betting lines. Okay? That's how we're winning. It's not about picking who's the better team. It's not about what's in your head and what's in your heart. It's about the numbers, the line movement, and where the best bets are. And that's what we're doing. If you want my free picks, link in the description below. It says VIP and free picks. Get on that free subscription. Every free pick I give out like this on YouTube is going straight to your phone via text. Also, VIP's in there. Game Day Pass is in there. Just click on that VIP and free link. There's a thing called a Game Day Pass. It's all my bets for this weekend. Use code BAMA. You're going to get a 50% off deal on that Game Day Pass. And every Game Day Pass member gets a deal off of my season pass. Get on it, guys. We're winning. We're about to win this pick again. Don't fade me. Ride with me. Trust me. I will show you what we're doing on this channel. It's winning. It's working. Washington money line. Let's go. I'll see y'all next time. Thank you for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you don't want to miss any of my picks.